Welcome to How to Improve Science Performance Through Strategic Note-Taking.
Today we are going to talk about cell structure and function. Cells are the starting point. It is important to know that all living organisms on Earth are divided into pieces called cells. There are smaller pieces to cells which include proteins and organelles. There are also larger pieces called tissues and systems. You should put in your notes that cells are small compartments that hold all of the biological equipment necessary to keep an organism alive and successful on Earth. You should also know that the main purpose of a cell is to organize. Cells hold a variety of pieces, and each cell has a different set of functions. It is easier for an organism to grow and survive when cells are present. If you were only made of one cell, you would only be able to grow to a certain size. You don't find single cells that are as large as a cow. Also, if you were only a one cell, you wouldn't have a nervous system, no muscles for movement, and using the internet would be out of the question. The trillions of cells in your body make your life possible. There are many types of cells. In biology class, you will usually work with plant-like cells and animal-like cells. We say animal-like because an animal type of cell could be anything from a tiny microorganism to a nerve cell in your brain. Plant cells are easier to identify because they have a protective structure called a cell wall, which is made of cellulose. You should put in your notes that plants have a wall and animals do not. Plants also have organelles like chloroplasts, the things that make them green, or water-filled vacuoles. We said there are many types of cells, and cells are unique to each type of organism. Humans have hundreds of types of cells. Some cells are used to carry oxygen through the body, like red blood cells, and there might be specific ones to the heart. If you look at every simple organism, you will discover cells that have no defined nucleus. These are called prokaryotes. And other cells that have hundreds of nuclei are called multinucleated. The things they all have in common is that they're compartments surrounded by some type of membrane. Let's look at cell functions. All cells have a purpose, as we said before. In the big picture, a cell's purpose is much more important than acting as small organizational pieces. They had their purpose long before they started working together in groups and building more advanced organisms. When alone, a cell's main purpose is to survive. Even if you were single-celled, you'd have a purpose, which would just be to survive. You would be moving around, probably in a liquid, just trying to stay alive. You would have all of the pieces inside of you. If you were missing a piece that you needed to survive, you would die. Scientists call those pieces organelles. Organelles are a group of complex molecules that help a cell survive. All cells are not equal. In the same way that cells survive in different ways, all cells have different types and amount of organelles. A larger cell comes with more organelles. If you think about it, it makes sense. The bigger the cell, the more you will need. You will also need to convert the food you gather into energy. So it is important for you to remember, a larger cell would need to eat more and may wind up having more mitochondria to process the food into energy. While they have a purpose, more advanced cells have difficult time surviving on their own. A cell from your brain could not survive in a petri dish for long. It doesn't have the right pieces to live on its own. It doesn't have the ability to transmit electrical systems around your body. An amoeba, however, could survive in a dish forever and thrive and reproduce. On the other hand, an amoeba will never help you transmit electrical impulses. The brain is far more advanced and has specific abilities in organelles. Simpler cells have a better chance of surviving on their own, while complex cells can accomplish tasks that are more advanced when joined together.